Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to the 12 Days of Christmas in July series. I'm so excited to be here with you today. It is Friday, August 2nd, and it is day 9 of our gift box unboxing. The 12 Days of Christmas in July was a curated gift box that I put together, and so many of you are enjoying at home. Numbered gifts that you can open each day, and every day I have a daily video to unbox that gift and share a project using it to inspire all of you. I'm so happy that you're joining me again today. Sorry about the bit of a delay, some more technical difficulties with the video, but I finally got it to stream in the right direction. And after 9 days of daily videos, plus the regular videos that I normally do, I'm wondering, are you getting sick of me yet? I'm glad you're not. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're enjoying this video series. If you are, please give this video and all of them a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos. We have 3 more videos after today. 10, 11, 12, yeah, 3 more videos after today, plus Sunday stamping, and of course our regular Thursday night video. Did you tune in last night rather? I created some projects using a new sneak peek Nests of Winter from the new mini catalog. Did you see these? Well, my embossing paste came and I thought it would be really fun to use it with the Frosted Forest bundle. And so we are going to create a card today using the Frosted Forest bundle, some of that embossing paste, and maybe those are hints as to what our day 9 gift is. Do you have any guesses? I'm super excited about the Frosted Forest bundle. If you don't have this one yet, you can get this one right now. I know what I shared with you yesterday was a sneak peek from the new mini catalog, but the Frosted Forest is part of the online exclusive offering. And this started in July, and so we've got different bundles, stamp sets, ribbons, designer papers, so many amazing things that we have showcased throughout the 12 Days of Christmas in July video series. So hopefully I've been tempting you and inspiring you. That's the word, inspiring you. So today we're going to do Frosted Forest. I don't think we've done this one for a 12 Days of Christmas video yet. We've hit a lot of some of my other favorites from the online exclusives, but before I do our gift unboxing and we create a card, let me share some more ideas with you using the Frosted Forest. First of all, this bundle has a photopolymer stamp set and then also some coordinating dies. And the dies themselves are awesome because they not only die cut the images, but they also have some detail dies. So you can use the dies on their own to create a beautiful project without the stamp set, or you can use them together. And then there's more to this bundle. We also have decorative masks, and there are 2 sets of masks, one for the big tree, and then another set of masks that have masks for both of the pine trees. And so today we're going to create a card using this one, and I'm going to show you how those decorative masks work. This all comes bundled together. You can also get everything individually, but when you buy them together, you save 10%. That's why I love the bundle discounts from Stampin' Up. Don't forget about your bonus day coupons. You can redeem bonus day coupons right now throughout August. You can redeem all your coupons on the same order, or you can break them up and do multiple orders. I don't know why you would do that, but if you wanted to, you could. And our designer paper sale, 15% off annual catalog designer paper, starts on August 6th. So that's coming up. If you want to save your bonus day coupons for that, that will start on Tuesday, but you can redeem your coupons right now. There's also going to be some new kit collections coming out on Tuesday. Excited to see what those are going to be. Let me show you samples. I feel like I'm getting distracted. This is one I did for our Sunday stamping video a couple weeks ago. I just love the layout. I love the way this turned out. And so if you haven't seen this, I'll add the link to the video description so you can check this out. I used the masks. I stamped and used the mask to color the tree. And then here's one with the masks without the stamp. This one is from Kay Kaltoff, and she used the new gold mercury vellum in there too. So pretty. This was one we did in a Thursday night stamp video where I used the detailed dies. I was still waiting for my masks to arrive. Little vellum back here, the golden greenery and the season of green gold designer paper. I had such great green combinations of designer paper. Here's one, again, I used the wood grain textured paper that's from the annual catalog. And I created a little background and then punched a frame to create this card. So we're gonna make another card with Frosted Forest using our Day 9 gift. I didn't see any guesses. Maybe you've just made them to yourselves. Silent guesses. If I could have a drum roll, please. Our Day 9 gift is the small blending brushes. These are so perfect to use with the decorative masks. And I'm going to share another project tomorrow with the Day 10 gift and use the blending brushes. So hopefully I'll inspire you to use your gifts in multiple ways. The small blending brushes come in a set of 3 like this. We also have larger blending brushes that also come in a set of 3. And just for size comparison, this is the large blending brush. Oh, it's dusty. And then the small one. So you can use them interchangeably. If you have a larger area, maybe the bigger brush works better. But I like the small blending brushes as well, especially for these masks because they do have some small openings, and I think it's just easier to use that, and you're not using up as much ink on your brush. Do you guys have the blending brushes? Is this something that you've used before? Leave a comment and let me know. And I think we should just get right to our project and jump in. I am going to be using some blending brushes that I already own. I already got them dirty creating our project, and I've got some pre-cut pieces that we're going to use to put our card together. And since we're using the embossing paste, I have one that's dry that'll be ready to go. Where did I put it? Okay. I know where it is, so I'm going to set these aside here. We'll also add some linen thread to our project, but we're going to start with those masks, okay? So the decorative masks have 3, for these trees, the pine trees, there are 3 masks, and they are all labeled with letters. I was using these earlier, so I've kind of got them a little bit messy, but we're going to start with the A. Can you see the letters there? Now the other masks have numbers, but these have letters, and the idea is that you can line up the corners when you're creating your project to make sure that you're getting them all the right way. Now for the trees, it's pretty obvious which direction they are and to line them up, but some of our other layered decorative masks, like the flowers, Layers of Beauty, that one maybe not be so obvious, and so having the corners, the little divots, and having them numbered really helps to get them in the right layer and be able to choose the right colors. Okay, so I'm going to start with number A, letter A, and I'm going to put this, I'm lining it up here. And so I'm using the grid lines on my grid paper. If you are not using grid paper, then you could do a little like mark your paper with the corners of the mask or a little divot there to help you to be able to line them up right on top of each other each time. I'm going to use 3 ink colors for today's project, Old Olive and Mossy Meadow, and some Early Espresso. And we're actually going to stamp with the Early Espresso, but we're not going to do that until we do our first 2 colors. And I don't know if it makes a difference, but I thought that masking and doing the blending brush, it might be better to stamp afterwards so that we're not blending accidentally and smearing some of that Early Espresso ink. So this is the way that I'm doing it. I don't know if it's not necessarily wrong to do it the other way, but this is just the way I'm choosing to do it, and that is my reasoning. I'm starting with Old Olive. I'm going to take and kind of drag the blending brush against the ink pad to pick up some ink. And if you want to, you could, practice or get rid of some of the initial like line. But I found that it's okay. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to just sort of gently brush and blend. So in a circular pattern, I am bringing that color onto the cardstock. And it's almost, I don't know, I was going to say therapeutic. It's sort of relaxing to just sit and blend. You guys know I don't necessarily love to color, and so using decorative masks like this is a great way to easily color without a lot of work. So quick and easy. there is our first layer of color that we've put down already. And so I'm using, to hold my masks down, I'm using that Post-it labeling and cover up tape. This is a very removable adhesive, so it's not super sticky, very easy to like pick up and put back down and not going to tear your cardstock. I've also used a piece over here on the cardstock to hold it still on the grid paper. Now, if you still have the Stamparatus, that was also a really great base to use for your blending and for your masks, because you could use the magnets to hold down the paper and use the grid. This actually grid paper was originally for use with the Stamparatus, so it's a nice, I just like the size of it because it's small. But anyway, the Stamparatus, you could use your magnets to kind of hold your paper down, so that was kind of a plus for using that. Our next one is B, and I'm going to line it up in the same lines. And you can see it's kind of funny because it looks like it covers up and suddenly we have like a whole new palette. And where the white pieces are is going where the colored, what we just colored is. And so it kind of opens up a whole new area where we're going to add some more color. So this is going to be the darker color. I'm using Mossy Meadow here, and same kind of thing. I'm just going to come in and gently, in a circular motion, brush. Okay, I don't know if our video is interrupted. I was getting a phone call. Anyway, we are, I'm just going to rinse this in the sink when I'm all done, and that color is going to just come right off. That is the neatest way to clean it. You could wipe it, but then I would just get color all over myself. Okay, so we had step 1 and step 2, and so we have this layered pretty tree color with the light and the dark greens. And this is where I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my stamping. And like I said, I chose to do it this way because I didn't want the early espresso ink to get blended by the blending brushes. I don't know if that would be a problem or not. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up. I love photopolymer stamps. I'm going to line that up and stamp right in the middle. And it just sort of highlights all of the blending that we just did. Now, our last step, this is so pretty just as it is, but our last step, we're going to add the embossing paste. And I've got Claire standing by because with the embossing paste, you want to make sure to rinse the extra paste off right away. And so she's going to take it for me into the kitchen, and maybe just some gentle dish soap clear and water to clean that off. So I'm lining it up in the same place on my grid paper right at that line. And I was saying last night with the embossing paste, you want to make sure that you're not keeping it open longer than it needs to be. I tried to keep a lot of the foil on there as I could and put it back in the bag so I can have my embossing paste last as long as possible. And I've got my palette knife. This comes in a package with three different shapes and sizes of these palette knives. And so it's just a plastic utensil, and I'm going to use this and get out a bit of the embossing paste. This is probably too much, but since I just threw away a whole crusty container, it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to take, and I found that kind of layering it on there pretty thick makes it a lot better in the long run, because then I can have bigger pieces of the snow and kind of a chunkier thing. So I'm laying it on here pretty thick, and with the decorative masks, then you can kind of scrape and remove the extra, and then you can put it back in your container. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm just making a whole mess. Oh. Okay, I have a little paper towel handy. I was using that last night when I added embossing paste. So embossing paste, last night I just used the knife and just directly applied it to the cardstock to create the snow on that die cut. And today I'm using it with the mask. So I'm gonna send the mask and the knife with Claire to go get rinsed off. We'll get that back in the bag, trying to keep that juicy as long as we can. So here we go, Claire. Thank you so much for taking that for me. And here is our finished image. I don't know how well you can see that embossing paste. There is also shimmery embossing paste, and I kind of wish that I had gotten it because I think it would be really pretty to have a little glitter on there. And I thought if I had some loose glitter, I thought about just sprinkling it on top of the embossing paste that I just did, but I don't have any. Well, I probably do somewhere, but it's buried. All right, so I'm gonna bring in the dry one, because you'll want to make sure that it's dry before you finish your project. And I was just looking to see if it didn't really get any more opaque, but that's why I was trying to lay it on thick, because I really wanted it to kind of show up better as snow. So we've got our frosted forest there. You can see I added a little bird stamp from the same frosted forest stamps that has a little bird in there. So let's bring in the rest of the pieces of our card and we'll get this finished up. So for the front of the card, I have my piece in the center, and then I cut a frame, and this green cardstock is Old Olive. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm going to do a little stamping on it before we put it together. But I just created a frame using the deckled rectangle dies. These are lots of nice rectangles. They're all the same proportion, and so they're just really nice. You can layer them together. We actually used them on our fall back book that we did in another video. Okay, let's do our stamping and then we'll get our card put together. The layout is going to kind of be pretty simple and easy, but there's nothing wrong with that when you have such a showcase of a design. I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow ink and the smaller of the pine trees. And I'm going to stamp and then keep stamping just to add, like, my goal is to sort of add like a forest of trees back here. So I just kind of want to add that background, and then that is going to frame the center tree. So you could also use designer paper for your frame if you wanted to, or you plain cardstock. There's nothing wrong with plain cardstock. I just wanted to dress it up a little bit. For the inside, I'm going to use the same stamp, and I'm going to stamp once and then again without re-inking. No, I'm not going to do it again. And then for our sentiments, I'm going to use Early Espresso. For the inside, the words say, thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. Oh, I love that sentiment. Who is someone that you would send a card like this to? For the front, I have thank you. And I have used the Pick-a-Punch. I think it's called Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch to create the fun little border on each end. Okay, so the Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch. This is about a 1/2 inch wide. And then I have a little bit of designer paper. And this is that green, Season of Green and Gold paper that I feel like I have just used so much with this bundle, because it's just got so many great green patterns back here that are just really versatile to kind of add a little accent. So one side we've got lots of green patterns with Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. The other side has the gold. So gold and vanilla, some gold foil accents on some of these images that you can cut out. Beautiful paper. This is also an online exclusive. That's where you'll find the Frosted Forest bundle that we're using. All right, let's get this card put together. We're going to use the, where's my adhesive? Oh, how weird. I have my little organizer. and it's missing. And I don't see a spot on my desk where it, oh, it's on the kitchen table. Can you grab my adhesive runner, my tape runner? This one is missing. Oh, thank you, Claire. All right. Oh, this is getting low too. I might run out. Yep, that's perfect. Thank you, Claire. And everybody says hi. Hi. This is going to go in the center of our card front. Mossy Meadow for the card base. And then for the frame, let's go ahead and use some Stampin' Dimensionals. I think it was yesterday. I got out some of these scraps from my sides. And, oh yeah, we did do it on the same frame last night. So I am just going to add some of these Stampin' Dimensionals to the sides. So these are from the ends. After you get all the centers out, I'm so bad about using the ends. And so I cut them and I put them in a bag and then I forget about them. So I'm trying to be conscious about using them, but they're perfect when you have a frame like this and skinny edges that you want to pop up. So I'm going to add these. Maybe a little overkill, but that's all right. It's going to be well supported. This is going to go over the focal image. Make sure you get the trees pointed the right direction so they're not floating in the sky. That is not good. And then we're going to add the inside piece. I have to say, like, in hindsight now, I'm looking at this and thinking like, oh, it would be really pretty to add like a die with a rolling, you know, like a rolling hill of snow kind of thing. And what would that look like if we just took, I'm improvising as we go. If we just took our scissors and just like free-handed some snow to add back there. Well, I'm not going to do it right now, but an option if you want to cover it, because I sort of feel like this tree is just floating. That's the thing that's bothering me, is that we just have this like floating tree that the floating tree that doesn't seem to connect to the ground. Does it bother you or is it just me? In hindsight, it's easier to put this down before you put the frame on, but I don't know. What do you think about that? I kind of like it. I am going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals. Maria, I'm so glad you're proud of me. I always forget about them, and then I go through like a phase where I use a bunch of them. I put some Stampin' Dimensionals on there to give it a little bit of height. So it's going to match the height of the frame and give it a little space there. And if you wanted to, like, you could add like a second layer behind there that is like flat to the card. I don't know that that adds much, but you know what I'm saying? You could add like bits. Anyway, I think that's good. Just a little bit. In hindsight again, and maybe I could go back, I would add some of the embossing paste to that cardstock. Oh, I can't help myself. Okay. Oh, I love that idea, Becky, using a gray blending pen and adding a shadow under the tree. That is also a fabulous idea. I'm just going to take a little bit of this. Oh, I shouldn't do this because I want to finish the card with my sentiment, but you'll get the idea. Oh, I love that. Yes. A little bit of embossing paste there. Some freshly fallen snow. I'm going to stop right there and let's wipe that clean. Very lovely. Our thank you is going to go on to this little strip of designer paper. And I want to add a bit of linen thread behind it. And I love linen thread because it seems very natural, but with the added snow, I'm wondering now if I should use something like, if I should be using white instead. But I do sort of still like the linen thread. Where to put it? Up or down? My initial thought was down. I still think it works well down there. I'm going to put a couple Stampin' Dimensionals on it. Oh, that's a good question, Sandy. No, the tree does not have a trunk. That's strange, isn't it? Let me look at the dies. So the dies also, this tree does not have a trunk. There is a taller tree that has a trunk, so you could cut a little bit off of that to use for the pine tree. But the pine trees do not have trunks that come down past the tree. Obviously, there is something in the center of this larger tree, but there is nothing that comes down. And that's what I was saying. It just looks like it's floating. It's kind of funny. Okay, I've got our Stampin' Dimensionals on here, kind of covering and holding down that linen thread a little bit more. Oh, I love it. Oh, there it is. Do you know what I want to add? Sometimes I feel like I just like keep going and add too much. I used to be such a clean and simple stamper, and I feel like my style has evolved, and now I just sometimes keep adding and adding and adding. But let me show you what I want to add, and you can tell me what you think. The snowflakes. Since we have some of our embossing paste and this frosted snow, these adhesive backed snowflakes, which are also an online exclusive that came out last summer, but they're still available. These are such an awesome way to add a little bit to your card. Okay, as I'm putting these on, I'm realizing that the proportion of the snowflakes to the bird is a little bit a little bit off. Like this snowflake is just as big as the bird. So in hindsight, I think I wouldn't put the bird there and I would just have the snowflakes. Tell me what you think about the snowflakes. I can peel them off. Are the snowflakes too much or do you like them? Once this one dries, I can make a second one without a bird and add the snowflakes. But for this one, is it too much to have? Is it too much to have the snowflakes and the bird? I don't see any. I hate the snowflakes. Yeah, Becky says with the snowflakes. I'm gonna do another. We always like odd numbers, so I'm gonna do 5. 3 over here, 2 over here. Oh, good. Sherry and Roxanne agree that they like the snowflakes. I think we're done. I think this card does not need anything else. except I do feel like I want to add. Becky mentioned gray, and so I want to add just like a little bit of gray to this bird. Just to kind of give it, I know it's so hard to see, just a little bit of dimension to that bird by adding the gray. All right, you guys, that is it for today. We made another card with the Frosted Forest bundle. I love the way this turned out using the blending brushes with the decorative masks and some embossing paste to make it frosted. I was trying to combine frosted and paste. Oh my goodness. I hope you enjoyed the project I shared today. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos. We've got 3 more days of the 12 days of Christmas, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, plus Sunday stamping with Susan and Julie on Sunday at noon Central Time. So I hope that you'll tune in for all of those. Thanks for being here, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. I appreciate you being part of the chat and leaving lots of comments and helping me create this card. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you again very soon. Bye, everybody.